killed herself, there was Charvona. And what did Charvona do? Charvona said to Achashverosh at a very key moment, oh, by the way, there's a tree 50 amos high in Haman's backyard, and he wants to hang Mordechai on it. And Achashverosh got furious, right? And he said, hang him on it. And the question is why? The Gemara says, very strange Gemara, the Gemara says that there were 3 people in the plot to kill out all the Jews. There was Achashverosh, right? He was the king. There was Haman, who wanted to do it and offered to pay for it. You know who the 3rd person in the plot to kill out all the Jews were? Charvona. Now we're singing V'gam Charvona Zachor Latov. Remember, Charvona is such a good guy. Charvona was one of Haman's co-conspirators. He wanted to kill out the Jews together with Haman.
Partner.
He was a partner. Now, that's very strange. He was a partner. That's what Gemara says. It's a Gemara in Megillah. The Gemara in Megillah, Daf Tet Zayin, says that Charvona was among the conspirators in the plot to hang Mordechai. And what happened was, when Esther said, oh, they're being killed, and Achashverosh said, who's doing this? Which was a joke, because Achashverosh knew exactly who was doing it. There were 3 partners. We were all doing it. Everybody in the room was guilty. So she says, Haman hara hazeh. So Achashverosh doesn't say kill Haman. He gets angry. He walks outside. The Gemara says that the Malachim were digging up his hanging gardens. Those are Midrashim. When he comes back in, he still doesn't say to kill Haman. Something Charvona said threw him over the edge. And it's interesting, he brings down over here that Charvona, when he started to talk, he was betraying Haman. And Haman was saying, basically, Charvona, what are you doing? We're partners. But no one could hear Haman, because it says, Upenei Haman chofui. Chofui means covered. That in Persia, if the king was angry at you, the servants came and put a paper bag over your head. So the king shouldn't have to look at your face. So with this bag over the head, Haman was saying, but you couldn't hear him because he had a bag, it was muffled. So he couldn't say, Charvona, what are you doing? We're partners, don't betray me. So the Ben Ish Chai comes up with a beautiful answer over here, really a fascinating answer. The Ben Ish Chai says, listen to this answer. He says, when you see a king, you're supposed to make a bracha. A Jewish king, a non-Jewish king, there's a bracha you make. The halacha says, what decides if the king is a king that deserves a bracha? I mean, how do you decide if the leader, whether he's the president or a king or a prime minister, do you make the bracha? What power does he have to make that bracha? So what's the answer? He has to have the power to do 2 things in order to be able to make the bracha. The first thing is what?
Honest.
The power to kill. He has to have the authority to sentence someone to death. And the second thing he has to have is the power to pardon someone.
What?
To pardon. To take them out.
Oh.
Let's say the President of the United States.
Yeah, he has the power, right?
Can the President of the United States pardon someone? The guy's in jail. Can the President say, I forgive your sin? Yes. Can the President send soldiers into battle? Yes.
But he needs the permission from Congress, no?
Technically, yes, but he can do it as executive order because he's commander-in-chief.
He's the boss.
He's the boss. So if you saw the president, you make a bracha. He has those powers. So what did Charvona say? Charvona said one thing to Achashverosh that drove him crazy. Charvona said, by the way, Haman has a tree in his house which he wants to hang Mordechai. Who has the power to kill? Only the king. So if Haman is already putting up trees to kill people, it means Mordechai today, who's next tomorrow? Me. That's treason. Kill him now. That's what Charvona said. That's what the Ben Ish Chai says. Charvona whispered in the king's ear, I just want you to know that Haman doesn't look like a servant of the king. Haman thinks he's already the king. He's executing people.
Prepare, yes.
He's preparing to act like a king. That is treason, my friend. That's the line you never cross with Achashverosh. And when you do, you go swinging 50 feet high in the ground, 50 amos high. And that's why you hung him. That's what the Ben Ish Chai says. When the Jewish people entered Israel, they had three goals. The first goal was to appoint a king. Who was the first king? Shaul HaMelech. The first job of the king, once Shaul became king, Shmuel said to him, now that you're the king, you have a mitzvah to do. Kill Amalek.
All of them.
And once Amalek is destroyed, now we can build the Beit HaMikdash. That was the order. King, Amalek, Beit HaMikdash. Mordechai and Esther were chosen because they were descendants of Shaul. It says, Mordechai yotze mifnei HaMelech b'levush malchus. Mordechai was dressed like a king. So if Mordechai was like a king, his first job was to kill Amalek, which is what he did. He took care of Haman's children, etc. Once Amalek was destroyed, and Esther had a child, and that child became king, what was next on the agenda? Build the second Beit HaMikdash. So we see that the order, that when we came into Eretz Yisrael, king, Amalek, Beit HaMikdash, was the same order that was followed over here as well. The same order. Yes.
What's the name of the child from Esther?
Darius.
Darius?
Darius the second.
Darius.
There was Cyrus and Darius for Persia and Media, but Darius. And he built the Beis HaMikdash. Okay. Now, it's interesting over here, in the last pasuk in the Megillah, it says, Ki Mordechai HaYehudi Mishta LeMelech Achashverosh. Mordechai HaYehudi was second in command to Achashverosh. V'godol LaYehudim, great amongst the Jews. V'rotzui LeRov Echov. And most people liked him. Now that's an unusual term. Because when you say most people like you, what does that mean? That there are some people who don't. Could you say most people like Donald Trump? No. So you can't even say that. But if you go over to a guy and you say, I heard so many nice things about you, a lot of people like you. What did the guy just do? He insulted you. He didn't say everybody likes you. So the Gemara says, why didn't everybody like Mordechai? So he says there were some members of the Sanhedrin who left him. Either because they felt he was too much in Haman's face. That means instead of avoiding Haman, he antagonized Haman. And they felt that was wrong. Others say that he lost a certain amount of position because he was so busy playing politics. And he wasn't learning in the Beis Medrash, so, he gave up the Torah. Talmud Torah Keneged Kulo. It's a very difficult thing to understand. What it means is, Mordechai was trying to save the Jewish people. Once he saved the Jewish people, he was trying to help them, and that required time. But he was a Talmud Chacham. The answer was, Mordechai, come back to the Beis Medrash and learn Torah. Let someone else do that. He felt he had to do it. So therefore, he was Rotzui Lerov Echo. Most people like him. It's like a rabbi of a shul. Most people like him. Yeah. That's the way life is. That's the way life is. Trust me, I know. There's a Mishnah, Brysa, in Avos Rabbeinu Nosson. Very interesting. Listen to this Brysa. It says that you should always learn Torah and never be mevatel Torah. Then it brings down a story of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. You know who Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, if you hear a story about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, you're ready for a good story.
Yes.
Okay. He went to visit someone who was sick. It says he wanted to be Mavaker Cholim, a man who was Cholem Me'ayim. He had a stomach illness. V'tafuach, his stomach was extended, it was swollen. And the man was being Mekalel Hashem. He was saying, oh, that God, I hate Hashem. Hashem has made me sick. He was cursing Hashem. Omar Lei. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, when he heard this, said, Reika, you empty, you low life. The Hashem